Hey there, model railroaders. Welcome to Vintage Road and Rail. Today's video is going to be a little bit unique compared to what I normally do. I apologize. You'll see some traffic going by and it's noisy. And I also want to apologize for the shaky camera work. I'm freehanding this with my phone. I would have brought a gimbal or something, but I did not know about this. So this was kind of a surprise trip that my family planned for my birthday. So I am in Dennison, Ohio, and I am standing outside of a restored train depot. And what this is, sorry about that, I had to suddenly stop the video. So what this is a canteen. It's the only existing canteen left in the country out of 125 that were used during World War II to service the troops that were being shipped off to war. This was the third largest canteen in the country. If I understand correctly, about 1.3 million soldiers came through here between, I know for sure, 1942 and 45. I don't remember all the details of the little video that I had watched, but basically the big highlight of this was, and I believe this was started by a group of women to help the soldiers, and in conjunction with the Salvation Army, is basically these troops were crammed onto these transport trains, and a lot of these young guys, they were scared, they had never left their home or anything, and they were crammed into this troop train. And so what they did was you can see these carts right across here, and they would make sandwiches and they would have fruit and other things, and they would give these soldiers something to eat along the way because there just really wasn't a lot for them while they were on that train. And like I said, this is the third largest canteen in the country at the time, and as far as I know, it's the only one that still survives, and this has been fully restored. Now in a separate video, or maybe at the end of this one, I've got some pictures and stuff I took on the inside. My family brought me here for my birthday. I just turned a big 5-0, so they planned a nice little birthday weekend for me, and this was one of the things that we did here. So anyway, we're going to start walking down, and we're going to see some other things a little bit further, but I did want to pan back here to what's going to be my right. And down here, I'm not real sure what their purpose in life is, but I believe these were owned by the Pennsylvania Railroad, because this is a Pennsylvania Railroad line that we're looking at, or at least a former Pennsylvania Railroad line. I'm not sure who it's used by now, because if I pan back, you can see there's some covered hoppers there that are in current use. But down here, you can't really see it all, but there's a tank engine, a tank car, 40-foot box car, flat car, and a bay window caboose. So anyway, so let's start kind of walking down here so we can see. And I'll try to hold this as steady as possible, but like I said, I just have my phone and I'm free-handing it. And so this is the outside of the restored train depot. And if I'm not mistaken, it was used both for passenger and freight, but during World War II, it was a major stopping point for troops being shipped off, headed east to various points in Europe and Africa, North Africa, for World War II. So if we go in here, there is a museum in here, and there's a gift shop, and there's Lucille's Canteen, and that's somewhere where you can get something to eat, things like that. And everything in here has been restored. But the most fascinating part we're going to come to down here at the end. Alright, and so you can see that little bench there, it says Dennison. That's the name of the town we're in. And let me make sure I can cross the road without getting squished. So keep this celebrating 90 years of the I guess that's Muskingum Watershed Conservatory District in mind. I'll go over that in just a few moments. Very pleasant weather here in Ohio, probably about 75 degrees. It's been rainy though. So I don't know if this was originally an actual Navy recruitment center, or if this is just something that was painted here for all the other World War II stuff. So this is a very sleepy town. There's really not a lot going on. All right, so as you can see down here, there's a lot of train cars. So if we come around here, now this train doesn't move. Just to kind of get that out of the way here. So coming around the corner, all right, and right here, you actually can enter the train from within the building. If I come around here, they're closed. I hope I'm not freaking anybody out. They're closed on Mondays. But you can get on the train from right here, which I'm assuming it's probably locked. But there is another way to get inside, coming in from the back of the train, where it would connect to another rail car, or passenger car, I should say. So I'm not sure of the number. I'll try to remember to put it up on the screen here. But all of these are passenger cars that have been fully restored, and these are all Pullman cars, or at least I think they are, and they were used by the Pennsylvania Railroad, and you can kind of see that if you look up here. So let's move on down this sidewalk, and speaking of the sidewalk, you'll see around here a lot. Anybody that are big Pennsylvania Railroad fans, you'll recognize this. And you see those in quite a few places around here. So we've got this car here. Now I can't remember what's in each one of these. Might try to figure it out, but I don't know that I'm gonna worry too much about it. But you can see these don't move. They've got air conditioner units set up here. And there's your power, supplying power to everything. So they do keep them quite comfortable. Really nice. And I apologize, this video will probably be really long. This car we're coming up on right here is very unique. This is car 7005. I apologize again for the bouncy camera work. So this is kind of a rare bird. So I'll look at this, I'll let you read the sign, but basically this is an original restored World War II hospital surgical car. And I do have pictures inside, and you can actually see where they would, you know, work on the patients, where the patients could rest and all that good stuff. It was very, very unique to see all of that. All right, so I may break these videos up to keep them from being quite so long. So as we go down here, let me see if I can get a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. They're so long, I'm making sure I double check. It looks like there's 6 of these that are in this consist right here. And they've got some others over there. And they've got some that I'm probably not going to really be able to show, but I'll see if I can. They're used for the Polar Express. And that's an actual train they run during Christmas. So walking on down here. So I guess you can actually enter this car through here if so desired. Now I know that visitors can't, but this may be used for the staff. just had steps, but this one does on both ends. So we're going to keep right on going. Alright, and I'm going to stop this video here for just a minute. I'll pick it up here in just a moment. Okay, I've moved down just a little bit. That car we're looking straight at here, it says Dennison on the top, and it has a car number, or a road number, or whatever you call it, 7004. That was the one we were standing at when I cut the video. I knew my family didn't want to be in the shot, so so I stopped it. So I'm stepping off a curb here. So this is the last car here that's part of the museum consist. There's 5 of them that are part of the museum consist. And this one is a restored baggage car, but it also serves as like an administrative building or something. Because when you cross over into 7005, let me get out of the street. You can go about halfway, about where these windows end right here, and then that's it. They thank you for visiting, blah, blah, blah. And then it says, you know, don't proceed past this point. And then when you go here, that's where the little offices and whatnot are. And you can kind of see some of that stuff through the window here. Let me slink up, get a little better shot. All right, so I'm going to stop the camera here. And I'm not sure if I'm going to keep on going with this video, if I'm going to break it up into another part so it's not quite so long. Because like I said, there's 6 cars and we've looked at 5 of them. But, well, you know what? Let's just keep on going. So this car here is a restored sleeper car. And they rent this out as an Airbnb. And we got a little bit of patio furniture out here. And we'll see our car number is 9514. And right here is where they keep your keys. You pick them up, and I have one here. And you can see right here, bed and breakfast, Times Square. So if anybody knows more about this car and what it did in the real world before it became a museum piece, feel free to let me know in the comments. I think I'm going to do a separate video when we go inside, but I didn't want to break this up because of what we're about to see next. And we have a restored Chesapeake and Ohio Berkshire 284 locomotive. We're looking at the tender here, number 2700. I believe this was built in 1943. I'm not real sure how long it ran, but it's a very beautiful looking locomotive. And I'm not sure if this actually runs or not. I'm not sure if they use this to pull their Polar Express or not. I'm kind of thinking they don't, based on what I'm seeing up ahead. Let me see if I can zoom in. You can see that mound of dirt straight ahead. Let me zoom back out. There we go. I'll cut across the side of the road so you can get a little bit better look here in just a minute. And they get quite grumpy if you climb on this thing. And they put a sign here that says keep off, so that you can't really get up there. And no, I don't think they use this. They've got sheet metal and everything there and they've got the windows. Those are not real windows, those are blocked out, which is probably smart to keep some vandal from breaking them. So when I say fully restored, I think this is fully restored cosmetically. I don't know. Sorry, truck going by. I don't know if this has been restored to operational status. Like I said, I'll cut across the road here in just a minute to give you a little bit better look. I mean, it's really huge. Let's get a look at the front here. Very beautiful. So we got our headlight there. Trying to see if I can find the builder's plate, but I'm not seeing it. And we got our bell up there. Got our smokestack. Very nice. Love it. I could just camp out here and look at it all day. Alright, so I'm going to stop. I'm going to cut across the street and just get a little bit better view of it from a little bit of a distance. And then we'll stop this video and pick up on a part 2. Okay, I've come across the street here. That way you can, I mean, it's a really long locomotive and tender. So it's really kind of hard to get the whole unit in one frame. I'd have to back way up, and there's a building directly behind me. But like I said, this is a Berkshire. So your wheel arrangement is going to be 2, 8, 4. And then we've got a tender here. And this original tender would have been coal. So you would have had a coal bunker. Or at least I believe it would have been coal. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's a really huge tender. I mean, you just don't realize how big these monsters are until you're right out front of them. And the largest locomotive I've ever seen was a 484, and I don't know that it was that much bigger than this one. It definitely was. But for those that are lucky to have seen things like a Challenger or a Big Boy or any drawing a blank as some of the other really large locomotives, but if you've seen some of those have got to be monsters. I mean, a Big Boy, for crying out loud. The locomotive is probably, what, twice as big as this one. I mean, for crying out loud. So anyway, so that's a look at that. So I'm going to stop the video right here, and the next video I put up, we're going to take a look at the inside of the bed and breakfast. I'll kind of do a recap on the outside before heading in. All right, well, thanks for watching. Happy model railroading, guys. Take care.